Good morning. Today we are going to investigate a few questions related to how fast roller coasters tend to be. And to do that, we're going to use a program called CODAP. We're going to look at 157 cases here to look at these questions that are posed to us about roller coasters across the US. The first question is, are there any difference between the top speed of older, newer, or more recent roller coasters? So we're going to pull out a graph here, and to be able to just kind of look at these on a one-on-one basis, we're going to select just older roller coasters. We're going to set aside the unselected ones. And so now we're going to go to top speed, put that on the x-axis. And to really kind of get an idea of what we're looking at here, we're going to look at it through a box plot and the mean. So we see that within older roller coasters, the mean is 49.4, the median is 50, the quartile 3 is 55, and we see that actually the top speed that we have in older roller coasters is 65, and we can actually look specifically at that roller coaster in Kings Mills, Ohio. Was built in 1979, so it gives us a pretty good idea about the speed of older roller coasters. Now we're going to restore back the 157, and we're just going to click on recent now and set aside the unselected cases. So now we just have recent roller coasters, that is between 1980 and 1999. We see that with these roller coasters, the mean jumps up to 58.1, the median is 56, the quartile 3 is 65. We see that the top speed of a roller coaster here in the newer column is 100, or recent, I should say, is 100. Now, if we restore back these and we just go to newest, again, we're just going to look at those. So we're going to set aside the unselected cases. We see again how it changes. Now the mean is 66. The median 65.5, quartile 3 is 75.75, and the top speed of the newest is 120. And again, we can specifically look at that, and that one is in Ohio at Cedar Park. And again, the top speed is 120. So we can see the difference here as throughout the years, older, the mean is 49.4 and the top speed is 65. Newer 58.1 is the mean and the top speed is 100, and with the newest we have a mean of 66 and a top speed of 120. So we can see that as time progresses that the roller coasters have become faster. We're going to restore all of these back. We're going to look now, does the type of material make a difference? So looking at all 157 cases here, if we go over to type, and we're going to do this categorically, put it on the y-axis, we can get a really good view here of seeing the difference. I'm going to make this a little bigger so that we can kind of catch this a little bit better. But with a wooden roller coaster, we see that the mean is 54.5, and with steel it jumps up to 60.6. In addition to that, the quartile 3 we see is 60, and here with steel is 70. Probably the biggest jump here is the top speed for a wooden roller coaster is 78, and the top speed of a steel roller coaster is 120. So we can see that there is a big difference. The type of material used to build these roller coasters helps also with the speed of these roller coasters. The next question we're going to look at is, if you were going to ride a coaster that was built before 1980, what would you expect for a typical top speed? So we're going to remove this, and we're just going to take a look at roller coasters before 1980. And so we can do that by clicking here at 1980, and we're going to scroll up to 1915. We're going to make sure real quickly that we have our years for us associated, and we do. Again, we're going to set aside the unselected cases, take a look at what we have here. And again, so we kind of get a little bit better picture, a little bit better idea, adjust the graph. With the graph here, we could expect that the quartile 3, the median is 55 here for the upper portion, and the top speed we have is 65 for roller coasters that are built before 1980. And again, we can kind of see that this is a wooden roller coaster in 1979, built in 19 or opened in 1979. If we restore all 125, the second part of this question is, what if we were riding a newer roller coaster? And kind of in my mindset, newer, I'm guessing we're going to use the term newest here. And we've kind of already looked at that, but again, we're going to set aside the unselected cases. And we can see that the newer roller coasters or newest roller coasters, the median is 65.5, the mean is 66, and the top speed is 120. So there's a big difference between a roller coaster that was built before 1980 and with our newer roller coasters, the typical top speed. We can see that the typical, we would say, I guess, quartile 3, 75.75. So a big jump that we have there for the newer. The last thing that we're going to do is see how, if we insert a new roller coaster, how it might change the data that we have here. And so I'm just going to restore all 113. And looking at all 113, we're going to see that our median here is 56.5. Our mean is 58.6 here. And again, that's just with 157 cases. But what happens if we add in another one more case to this? And so we're going to look at the roller coaster extreme, which is at Dribliant, I guess is how you would say that, Family Park. This is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And the type of roller coaster is steel. I'll move this over, steel. It is a sit-down roller coaster and was actually opened in 2007. Top speed was 37.3. The maximum height was 50.8. Could not find the drop, but the length was 1,391.1 feet. Duration was 86 seconds, and it did not have any inversions. So 0 inversions. Could not find the latitude or longitude, but we're going to take a look and see what happens now with this information added. And if we put this in, so now there we go. All right, now if we have all of these put in, and we can see that here is the 158th that we put in. We can see how that actually changes. And we go from a mean of what was originally 58.6 to now 58.5. And a median that was with the 157 cases was 56.5 and now is 56. And again, we can just click here and we see there is our new roller coaster top speed at 37.3. So does it change our information, our data set here? Yes, it does. Just by a little bit, again, 58.6 to